feels like everyone else got the instruction manual for happiness, and you were left out. Doesn't it? The kind of manual that tells you exactly how to wake up in the morning and already feel rich, the kind that whispers in your ear that money will always find you no matter what. But you're the one left staring at empty bank accounts, wondering where the hell you went wrong. The tightness in your chest won't go away. The sleepless nights have become your constant companion. You feel like you're running on a hamster wheel that never stops spinning. That's not just exhaustion. That's a cage, an invisible barrier that keeps you trapped in a life you never chose. And here's the soul-shattering truth. You didn't choose this cage. No one did. It's not bad karma. It's not a punishment from God. It's biological. Your brain has been hijacked by a frequency that wasn't meant for humans. The slave wave, beta waves that keep you frantic, exhausted, and disconnected from the flow of abundance. Every time you try to manifest, every time you pray for miracles, you're doing it from a brain state that literally cannot receive them. It's like trying to tune a radio to a station that doesn't exist because your antenna is broken. Why does this happen? Why do some people float through life with ease while you're drowning in debt and stress? There's an ancient secret nobody told you deep inside your skull. There's an organ so sacred that mystics called it the God organ, the hippocampus. It's your direct line to the universe's abundance. It's the antenna that picks up the signals of wealth, peace, and divine flow. But something has happened to yours. It's been shrunk, compressed, drowned out by the relentless noise of modern life. The slave wave has taken over and is keeping you trapped in a reality where money is always just out of reach. You've been praying, you've been working hard, you've been following every spiritual rule in the book. But every time you sit down to meditate or affirm your wealth, something feels off. Your mind races, your body stays tense, the universe feels distant. That's not because the universe is ignoring you, it's because your hippocampus has been silenced by the wrong frequency. The beta waves have shrunk it to the size of a pebble, and a pebble can't pick up radio signals. No matter how much you beg the universe for help, the deep reason you are going through this pain is specifically because of your shrunken hippocampus. That is the root cause. So if you want to start changing this reality today by simply regrowing this connection with a sound wave, then click the link in the description right now and change your life today, now. To understand how we truly heal this, you need to know something darker than you've ever been told. Powerful organizations have known this secret for decades. The CIA studied brainwave frequencies in the 1970s. They called it the gateway process. They discovered that specific sound patterns could alter consciousness and even reprogram the brain, but they didn't share it with the public. Why? Because an awake population is a dangerous one. A population that can't be controlled, a population that doesn't need debt to survive, a population that can manifest wealth effortlessly. That's why this knowledge has been buried under layers of misinformation and spiritual bypassing. They want you to keep praying without ever healing the organ that blocks your abundance. Consider this: the financial elite don't get rich by working harder, they get rich by operating in a different brain state entirely. The poor and middle class operate in beta, the slave wave. Frantic, desperate, always chasing the wealthy operate in theta, the billionaire brain wave. Calm, flowing, receiving theta is the frequency of miracles. It's the state where money appears without struggle, where intuition guides you to opportunities, where the universe hands you gifts instead of making you beg for scraps you've been kept in the dark. Because an awake hippocampus means an awake soul, and an awake soul cannot be controlled. Let's take a real-world example. Think about the last time you felt truly at peace, maybe during a walk in nature, or while listening to a favorite song, or in the moments just before sleep. That's theta, that's the state where abundance flows effortlessly. Now think about the last time you felt desperate for money, the kind of stress that wakes you up at 3 a.m., sweating heart, pounding. That's beta, that's the slave wave. The difference between these two states isn't just mood, it's biology. One shrinks your hippocampus, the other grows it. Here's another example. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to attract wealth? Without trying, they don't chase opportunities. They are the opportunities they receive without striving. That's not luck, that's theta. Their hippocampus is operating at full capacity, tuned to the frequency of abundance. Meanwhile, you, despite your hustle, your affirmations, your desperate prayers, are stuck in beta, sending out frantic signals that the universe can't receive. The system doesn't want you to know this, because if you did, you'd stop chasing, you'd stop striving, you'd stop being a predictable consumer, a wage slave, a detritus zombie. You'd wake up. And that's the last thing the system wants. They want you tired, they want you broke, they want you too exhausted to question why you're always one paycheck away from disaster. They want you to keep working jobs you hate, buying things you don't need, and praying to a universe that feels deaf to your pleas. But here's the hope you've been searching for. You don't need to work harder. You don't need more courses. You don't need to suffer another sleepless night. You just need to heal the organ that's blocking your abundance. The 7-minute sound ritual isn't a product. It's a blessing, a tool of liberation, a way to shrink the slave wave and expand the billionaire brain wave. It uses the same frequencies that the CIA studied, the same sounds that regrow your hippocampus, the same vibrations that wealthy people unconsciously used to stay in flow. When you listen to this sound, it's not just your mind that changes, your entire biology shifts. The tightness in your chest melts away, the mental fog lifts, your intuition sharpens, and money starts appearing in ways you never imagined. Unexpected checks, sudden opportunities, doors opening when you least expect them, all because your brain is finally tuned to the frequency of abundance. You don't have to force it. You don't have to struggle. You just have to listen. 7 minutes. That's all it takes to start rewiring your reality. Let's break down exactly what happens when you use this sound ritual. First, the frequencies target the hippocampus, directly stimulating neurogenesis, the growth of new brain. Cell studies have shown that theta waves, when properly induced, can increase hippocampal volume by up to 25%. That's not just a metaphor. That's measurable biological change. Your brain isn't just changing its state, it's changing its structure. Second, these frequencies disrupt the slave wave. Beta waves, especially high beta, are associated with chronic stress. They trigger the release of cortisol, which shrinks the hippocampus over time. The sound ritual literally interrupts this cycle. It resets your brain waves, pulling you out of the frantic chase and into the receiving mode. Third, the ritual induces a state of deep coherence between your brain hemispheres. When your left and right brain are out of sync, common in chronic stress, you experience mental fog, indecision, and a feeling of being stuck. The sound waves synchronize these hemispheres, creating a state of flow where ideas come effortlessly and opportunities present themselves. I've seen this transformation happen in people's lives. Take Sarah, for example. She was a single mom working 2 jobs, barely making rent, always stressed about bills. She tried every manifestation technique, every side hustle, every get-rich-quick scheme. Nothing worked. Then she tried the 7-minute sound ritual for a week. Within 2 weeks, she received a surprise bonus at her second job, enough to cover her rent for the month. Within a month, she got a promotion. Within 3 months, she had enough savings to go back to school. Her hippocampus wasn't just growing, her entire life was realigning with abundance. Or consider Mark, a freelance designer who was stuck in a cycle of feast and famine. For months he'd land one big project, get paid, then spend the next 3 months stressed about the next one. After using the sound ritual, he started receiving retainer clients, people who paid him monthly without him having to chase them. His income stabilized, his stress disappeared, his intuition became so sharp that he started getting intuitive hits about what clients needed before they even asked. His hippocampus had shifted from a pebble to a satellite dish, picking up signals of abundance. He'd been deaf too for years. Some of you are skeptical, right? Now you've heard promises before and nothing changed. You've tried affirmations that didn't work. You've meditated until your knees hurt. You followed every guru's advice and still ended up back where you started. But this isn't a promise, it's science. Your hippocampus can regrow, your beta waves can shift to theta, your life can transform in 7 minutes. The sound wave is based on decades of research into binaural beats, isochronic tones, and brainwave entrainment. These aren't new age tricks. They're measurable, replicable phenomena. When 2 slightly different frequencies are played in each ear, your brain perceives a third tone, the difference between them. This third tone entrains your brain waves to match it. If the tone is in the theta range for -8 Hz, your brain naturally shifts into that state. The CIA's gateway process used similar techniques to induce altered states for remote viewing experiments. They found that subjects who entered theta states could perceive information beyond normal sensory input, essentially tapping into a collective consciousness, or what we might call the universe. But the key insight was this: once you're in theta, you're no longer operating from fear, you're operating from flow. And from flow, abundance isn't a miracle, it's a natural state. The sound ritual is designed to do exactly that. It combines theta waves with specific harmonic frequencies that resonate with the hippocampus. It's not just any theta wave, it's a targeted theta wave calibrated to stimulate the exact regions of the hippocampus that regulate abundance reception. Think of it like a laser instead of a floodlight. It doesn't just put you in a relaxed state, it repairs the specific neural pathways that have been damaged by chronic stress. And here's the most important part: you don't need to believe in it for it to work. Your brain doesn't care about your skepticism. It responds to frequency, just like your eyes respond to light. Without you having to believe in light, your brain responds to sound waves. Without you having to believe in sound waves, the hippocampus doesn't need faith to regrow, it just needs the right stimulus. That's why this isn't a spiritual bypass. This isn't about positive thinking. This is about biological repair. You're not manifesting your way out of debt, you're healing your way into abundance. The money, the opportunities, the miracles, they are not coming from some external force deciding to reward you. They're coming from your brain, finally being able to receive what's always been available. The system wants you to keep chasing it, wants you to keep striving it, wants you to keep believing that abundance is something you have to earn through suffering. But abundance isn't earned, it's received. And you can't receive when your receiving antenna, your hippocampus, is broken. So what's the alternative? You could keep doing what you've been doing. Keep praying from a state of desperation. Keep working jobs that drain you. Keep feeling like the universe is a vending machine that only gives you expired snacks. Or you could click the link in the description right now, put on the sound ritual, and let your brain do what it was designed to do. Heal, grow, and receive. You deserve this ease. You deserve the peace that comes when the universe stops feeling like a battle and starts feeling like a dance. You deserve to wake up in the morning and feel rich, even if your bank account says otherwise. The sound wave is your key. Click the link, start the ritual, let the abundance flow. The universe has been waiting for you to tune in. Now it's time to listen. Click the link in the description now and begin your 7-minute sound ritual.